All right. Let's invite friendos. Where is the Shelab? Yeah, invite sent.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to remain crouched. And when Shelab loads in, do remember to drop into crouch mode. It is day 7. It is going to be horde day. So, we need to start prepping. Very much need to start prepping.
Stupid overlay.
What's wrong?
The overlay won't go away.
Which overlay? Steam overlay?
Steam overlay, yeah.
Shift
tab, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we are. Apparently I had to hit it harder.
you weren't nearly convincing enough with your clicking of the shift tab. No. I'm gonna grab all of these. Am I right to assume that you want me to do the horde base design? Because I seem to recall you suggesting that previously. I want to check that that's still the case.
Yep, that is indeed still the case.
Right, yeah.
Would like you to do that.
Very well, I shall get to that. Hello! Hello, Arkham. Iawn, diolch.
Sorry, I forgot to tab in the right way.
Every single time. This is why I backed up. I didn't want to prove chat right this early.
It's just how I normally tab into things. Doesn't work very well in 7 days. Works fine in some little farming game or something.
That's true. It is true.
I have no way of hurting stuff. But yeah, I am happy to be the materials gopher today, and then let you do a lot of the design work.
Right, well, one thing that would be great is if you could restock our food supplies.
Hey.
And water supplies, though, again, it isn't quite day yet, so do be aware of that.
Oh, right, okay. So I'm going to take all the empty water jars then first.
Yeah.
And I will take all of that down to the river. Mm-hmm. You can take the 3 waters that are already in the thing.
Oh, I've got waters on me at this point. I'm fine.
Cool. We've got loads of meat, so I will probably grill that. We don't have much in the way of eggs, so yeah, I'm just going to make a lot of grilled meat, I think. We seem to be doing well for meat and very badly for eggs right now, so...
Yeah. Making some forged iron. I've got 2 repair kits on me. How many do you have on you?
I don't have any on me right now.
That is a problem that should be resolved ASAP. Yeah, if you can basically make some cooked meals, then I'll switch over to using those instead.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab some aloe cream. Yeah, I'm just gonna have some aloe cream with me. Well, actually, maybe a plastic.
Will I be okay to put the fire on now, do you think?
Yeah. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna grab one of the healing items, basically. I'm also gonna grab one of the adrenalines. These last for a while. Duration is 10 minutes. That's almost an entire horde night, so should be good. Range damage. I'm gonna quaff the the recog during this.
Yeah.
There's no point in it. I always hang on to these things for so bloody long, and there's just no reason to. I'll also
we'll eventually be able to make
well.
recog as well, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think that'll probably be the most. If you could make any like of the teas, that would be grand.
Yeah, I could probably make chrysanthemum.
Are you actually cooking anything in this fire?
No, because I was waiting to get the meat out. I forgot to take the meat out.
Right,
because
okay.
I'm a dummy.
No, that's fine. Perfectly fine. I'm going to make some more repair kits.
Definitely make yucca juice, I think.
There are some... I do notice that there were a couple of repair kits in the tool chest. You go ahead and grab those. We are not in a group yet. No, we've only just kicked in the game, Gulliver. Thank you very much for catching that, though. And your Mendel, thank you very much for the 9 months, mate. Also, to True God Howard, thank you very much for the Prime sub as well. And Penjay as well. Thank you very much, all of you. Alright, let's get in a group. Party invite sent.
Thank you.
I've got 40 minutes of this. These vitamins. We don't have any vitamins, do we? No. Much sadness. Right. I'm heading out.
There we go.
Into the night.
Oh, darn it, we're out of wood. Let me just get some more.
This is a thick fog. This is an uncomfortably thick fog, actually.
6, 7, 8, 9.
I'm not going to worry over much about going out and hunting right now. We've got more than enough material.
Yeah, we've got so much meat. We're going to have 30 odd grilled meat between us to eat, so that's fine.
Some animals about the place that I could easily hunt if I wanted to from up here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to worry about retrieving the supplies quest. Is there a way of getting rid of the quests that are... Ah, balls.
Is it okay for me to make yucca juice as an alternative to water?
Yeah, sure. I was really hopeful that I could just delete the cleared quest on my list, because there's no point in having them there, just filling out, but I've accidentally deleted the shared quest that we had. It doesn't matter, I wasn't going to be going and doing it today.
You just pick another one up, can't you?
Yeah. Sure, we can get some bets going for tonight, but I'll let you see what the Horde base looks like before I set that up. And if Belial is available to set up that prediction, like 10 minutes before Horde night, that would be ideal. Or maybe 5 minutes, I don't know. Ferret dragons, that sounds amazing, Dutrius. Let's gobble down this food. Reminds me of where we were going to go with my ferret in D&D. Way back when I was doing the first D&D. Actually, no, it was the second round of D&D. And we were considering ferret dragons. If the ferret ate a dragon egg, it would become an elemental dragon of that nature. A little tiny fuzzy ferret having eaten a frost dragon egg. Alright, this fog is going to actually make planning somewhat difficult, but... Alright, so...
Hopefully it'll clear.
First Horde night. Yeah, it's already clearing. Got many things to consider. Yep. And one down just like that. Alright. So, there's lots of different shapes that we can use. I'm thinking, since I'm hoping to go more down a route of intelligence, you know, I'm not going to be able to bring to bear any kind of turrets yet. I'm not at that stage, sadly. But we can definitely play around with the various shapes that we've got available to us to maybe do something. Zombies now move in a different way than they used to. They can run across small gaps. So the traditional kind of camel hump design probably not going to have the same kind of impact that it used to. I might need to extend it.
Yeah, would it maybe be like just still have them going up and down over blocks, but as whole blocks rather than partial blocks?
No, because they were never half blocks before. It's the distance between them. they can basically run across a 1 meter gap.
Oh, so they'd maybe need a 2 meter gap.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
something
a
to
2 block
make sure
gap,
that they do
and then-
actually fall short and then have to climb up the other side. Other things that I could possibly do, since all zombies are now capable of crawling through a 1.5 tile gap, is creating a bunker that is going to enforce them to move into and kind of crawl through such an aperture is my guess. Right. Okay, let's have a look at this. Trail, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I've got 17 regular frames. I'm going to pop these down to create a bit of an idea of what we're doing. I've also got a bunch of cobble on me, so I can upgrade these frames. Now, the question is, do we want to go for a central structure that is cheaper to build? Or a central structure which is stronger? I'm thinking probably the latter. It is going to be a bit of a tricky one, though. I will need the wood brought over where possible.
Okay, I can bring that right now.
Upgrade this? Do I not have the
Do you need any,
cobblestone?
like, stone or anything brought as well?
Oh,
Do you need stone?
yes, please. Yeah, and probably clay as well to make the cobble. I
and
need
clay. Okay.
to upgrade that from just chipboard into wood, and then from wood to cobble. That'll give me levels, which will, definitely be useful. I'm not sure you've helped. There we are. Hello.
You came all the way over. I was bringing it to you.
Thank you.
There you go.
This will do nicely. It always does
Bring
amuse
food
me.
and water?
No, I'm good with food and water. But I would love your input on what I'm doing. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on my way over right now, then.
Just generally, what you think the best way of building this up would be. So on and so forth. Right now,
I know,
I'm going
Aavak.
for...
Do you know what's happened?
What?
My tea's all gone.
Your tea's all gone. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that does happen when you drink it fast. It is known. I'm going to just upgrade straight to cobble on most things. Where I can.
Okay.
If you've got a hammer, you're more than welcome to help out as well, because this is a good source of EXP.
Well, I need to chop down some trees or something so I can have, so I've got some like wood in my inventory.
Yeah, by all means. I mean, we're probably going to go through quite a lot, regardless.
Yeah, so I'll let
we're
you
gonna
have what there is, and
Yeah.
then I'll start chopping more.
We're going to go through an awful lot of
What am I doing this? I've got a fire axe and I'm using
wood
my little axe.
just for the wooden spikes, I imagine. Why is tea always gone? It will never last long enough. It's just the way it is.
It's either gone or it's cold.
I've still got a little bit left. I'm portioning mine out. I'm rationing for the dark, grim nights ahead. I've lived through too many tea apocalypses to not know to ration my food. If any of you have enjoyed Deep Space Nine, basically, this is me channeling my inner chief engineer. I've been in prison for a long time.
O'Brien.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of prison now. I'm out of the prison of my mind, but I still try to apportion my food and put it aside because deep in the back of my mind, I know the guards will sometimes forget, and it'll go days without food. Good old O'Brien. I actually really liked that episode. Really liked that
Why
episode.
were they always like literally? That was like almost the whole point of that entire series was like how much can we put O'Brien through without him breaking?
It kind of was actually. You know what? That I was about to say nah, but no, you're right. You're right. That was a pretty rough time for O'Brien in general. What is it I lack? I lack the dirt. I'm gonna need to start digging then to grab the clay that I'm gonna need to reinforce all of this cobble.
I mean, the fact as well, like he spent, like, in oh, what's the
Miles? That's what I was struggling
The Next
with.
Generation. He was just like totally falling in love with this girl and got married, and it was all happy, and then all of a sudden, like, she was never anywhere to be seen when he was on DS9.
She was around, but yeah, she was.
She was like always on another planet.
Permanently a side character, which was really a shame, honestly.
Like, where's Keiko?
Because
Oh,
she
she's
was
off doing a thing again.
A massive part of his motivations as a character. His family was a huge part of his motivation. That and his friendship with Bashir. That was super endearing. I loved that.
I loved that. It was nice.
I actually really liked Bashir's character arc. He started out such an unlikable person, but as you went through and learned more about him, you started to understand that he was still unlikable. His way of behaving was still kind of shitty at the beginning, but you understood more of why he had developed that way of acting.
Yeah.
He was a very interesting character all round.
Oh, I need repair kits. Can we make repair kits? Or
Yep,
do we
forged
have to
iron
find them?
and duct tape.
Ah, cool. I'm going to go back to the base and need to repair my fire axe.
By the way, if you see any tree stumps, please check them for honey. Because if I can cure this infection without using my antibiotics, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm basically waiting on it to get into 20%. Once it hits 20%,
I can totally just do a little bit more of a run around before I chop down trees and see if I can see any.
Bashir and Garrick. Garrick's actually my favourite character in all of Deep Space Nine. Garrick is by far my favourite character. By far my favourite character. I feel that Garrick's character arc took him on the longest journey. It would be very easy to say Dax's character arc took them on the longest journey, but I feel that that's a little bit of a cheat. I feel like the Dax... Actually, you know what? I don't really feel that Dax's character arc took them on the longest journey, even so, but it would be a bit cheating to say that they had gone on the longest journey. Simply because, I mean, they had, in terms of just raw amount of time, and how their personality continued to evolve with each new host. But I would say Garrick actually traveled the furthest in his own shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I always had to hold myself back from geeking out when Sheila was doing her Star Trek binge, and she started with you didn't do the classics, did you? You didn't do OG Star Trek. You started with TNG. Yeah, no.
I did TNG, then I did Voyager, and no, sorry, I did DS9, but I went on to Voyager before I finished DS9 and still haven't finished it.
Well,
yet.
that's because chronologically the episodes happen in that order. Like you were following them,
over, yeah.
Which I thought was actually really cool. That you were actually following through along with the order that the episode, like the chronological order of the episodes. I thought that was always pretty cool. Because I didn't have that opportunity. It was one series, then the next series, then the next series, and I just had to kind of try and keep a mental tab on where each series fit in chronologically with regards to the others.
How do I get forged iron? Is that something I make on the forge?
Yep, from iron. There is a bunch of forged iron. I have a load of it with me. But there are repair kits.
It's okay for now. I just wanted to make a few more repair kits, if I could.
Yeah.
I don't know how much duct tape we've got, actually.
You're going to have to make the duct tape then. I've got 3 repair kits on me, and there were 2 the last time I checked in the...
Yeah, I've got those 2 now.
Yeah.
duct tape is what, cloth and glue? Yeah.
Well, Odo wasn't far behind. I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, though I would say that, well... I guess you're right. But I feel that, much like Dax, the distance Odo travelled was kind of dictated by his nature and his species, to a certain degree. Where Garrick's distance travelled was more based on his culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Garrick's species went through a big change, and he was at odds with his species for a long time. So was Odo, to be perfectly honest. I mean, in that, Garrick and Odo were kind of had a lot in common in that regard. Simply based on the fact that neither one was well liked by their own people. But I feel that Garrick overcame more demons than Odo did. Perhaps because Odo didn't know what he had lost until much, much later. Like, that was kind of what he'd always known. Whereas Garrick was in exile from the beginning. If that makes sense. Like, there was already a lot of ground that Garrick had travelled anyway. Odo only really became aware of what he had sacrificed, or rather what he had never known. Once he'd... I forget the term that the founders used for when they connect together. The great something.
Conjoining or something like that, or joint, no.
I don't remember. The link, something along those lines, yeah. Whatever it was, though, that was a big part of Odo's character arc happened there. And I feel that with Garrick, like, he had been in exile and knew exactly what he'd lost for an incredibly long time. The Great Link, thank you.
It's almost like like joining a Borg hive mind or something like that. You would suddenly get a lot of like progression as a person because you're suddenly taking on all of these memories of everyone else.
I mean, 7 of 9, when she was initially disconnected, was very unhappy about it. But that's the nature of a hive mind, I guess. Being disconnected from the whole would be incredibly disorienting. But you just learn so much about Garrick, and you don't appreciate... I think the thing with Garrick is that the other characters were happy until they found out what they'd lost, and then they were sad about it. But Garrick was... You learned that the things that what you took for Garrick just being happy all the time was just him masking how terribly, brutally despairing he had been ever since you'd been introduced to his character. Like the one of the scenes that always got me about Garrick is when you learned about the implant that he had, which was then faulty, and that was like, wow, okay, so like this has been Garrick going through this the whole time. And his overcoming his various phobias as well.
He's also always so polite as well.
Well, I think that...
Such a polite boy.
I don't know. I kind of feel that was perhaps his training. That was more of a throwback to the more sinister part of Garrick, I must say. Right, I'm going to gobble down some food. I'm going to start off with the cornbread. Yeah, sticks. It's always banned in chat. It's the chat meme. Indeed, Isdar. Well said. Politeness and kindness are two different things. Garrick was rarely kind.
Mm-hmm.
But Garrick was almost always polite.
He was always polite.
Mm-hmm. But rarely kind. But there were some genuine moments. And it was lovely when you got to see those, I feel. But yeah, Garrick was sinister. There was definitely a sinister element to Garrick. Right. I'm going to go and swing by the shop and see if they've got any kind of antibiotics.
Yeah, I'm kind of just running around the place.
Vitamins would be great
anything.
as well. Yeah. Garrick was... I love Garrick. The whole thing about the boy who cried wolves. This is a great... I love this. It's such an educational thing. It's like, what? No. It's, the point is not to lie. It's like, no. The point is never tell the same lie twice. Such an amazing quote.
Hello, traveler.
And that whole scene between him and Worf when he was like, oh yeah, I think I should be in Starfleet, and based on my training and what I've done, I think I should be promoted immediately to lieutenant. And Worf's getting bristle is like, you're lying with me. He's like, of course I am. Lying is a skill, and like any skill, it must be practiced. It's like, Garrick, you terrible, terrible person. Lovable rogue.
Why are there no tree stumps anywhere?
That's right, G-Lab. You get angry on my behalf. Grr, arg.
I'm looking for them for you, you see.
I know, and that's
They're
why
not
I'm very
there.
happy. Some meat stew that I could buy. I think I'll pass. Do we need any... Like, do you want me to buy some ears of corn? Or blueberries? From the shops, you can
We're
start
okay
planting
for them. I think we've got corn planted at the moment, and I can't.
There's 10
blueberry
here
yet.
for 30 coins that I can easily buy.
I mean, if they're not too expensive, then sure, great. More is better. But
Well, I'll buy 10 for 60 coins. It's hardly anything, and I'll buy 10 blueberries for 60 coins as well. That way you can get those planted.
Now that was a good deal.
Thank you.
Trust me.
I trust you. I don't trust you because you're a doctor. Sugar butts. Bartering up. Nah. Eye candy. Loot bonus. No. Okay, none of the stat food there. Particularly useful to me. A lot of TNG seemed like a huge love boat. It's because TNG was basically the utopia of Star Trek. It was the Federation ideal. Deep Space Nine was more the grimdark element of the Federation. Still ideal though, because it was still the Federation. And then you had other series that approached it from different directions entirely.
stump number 2, no honey.
Oh, out of stamina. What was I thinking? Don't mind me being back here. La 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 la. And kapow. Now, there is a reason why I'm not taking my antibiotics that could absolutely help me out right now. And that reason is very simple. It's that while I've got an infection, I can't get a second one. So I'll wait until about 20% on my on my infection before I use the antibiotics that can cure me of 25%. Because right now, if I had been hit by that zombie...
else, then great.
Yeah, if I had been hit by that zombie, but I'd taken my antibiotics and then got another infection, I would have been so angry with myself. So angry. Okay, so this is not going to be an amazing base. Truly not, but it'll have to do. Now, what I'm thinking is... I'm going to continue making these frames here and things just so I can map this out, but then I'll switch it over to cobblestone as and when I get the opportunity to. There's going to be 16 zombies coming at a time.
Okay.
That is going to cause us some issue. Just the way it's going to be for us.
That's a
but
lot.
That's fine. For such a simple horde base, it's going to be a bit of an issue, but I think it's going to be okay. Stairs filled. Let's use this.
Oh, yeah.
What do you find?
Honey.
Yes. Okay. So, might not need to do too much Is this a little bit too early? Might be. Yeah, it is. I'm going to need to pop this back a bit. Let's bring this back a little bit more to about there. But yeah, if you can find any more, that honey will pull down my infection a little bit. It'll basically stop my infection getting worse, and it'll start pulling it down. But it won't be enough. Do you want me to
bring it back or look for more stumps?
Look for more stumps. If you can find a second one, then that would currently cure my infection. There we go. I want it to be one taller than this, so that I've got enough room to jump across. Now, the zombies are quickly going to break this, sadly. Right, let's go for probably a half block. Oh, no, not centered. Not centered. Against this surface. There we go. And then probably about here, I'm going to say. There. That should be enough of a drop that they're going to have to jump on the other side. I don't know for certain, but we'll see. This is going to be us testing things. On there as well.
If you're going to test something, test it on night 1.
Exactly. That's kind of where I'm at with that. Yeah. This is effectively a 2-block gap. And this will, again, effectively be a 2-block gap. Copy that shape. Oh. Bad. Copy that shape. Tonk. Copy that shape. Place it against this wall. There we are. As someone who likes the shows, what's your opinion on modern movies? Are you talking about Star Trek? I'm thirsty. Right there. The modern movies. Define modern for me. Because that could be taken in quite a few different ways. Question, do the structured blocks have to always start with basic plywood? No, no. I've got a bunch of cobble in my inventory that I will be placing down. Right now I'm just using the basic ply to get a couple of things built nice and quick. We're going to want a nice, strong ramp, I'm going to say. Well, I could honestly just go with a basic ramp, I guess. But I would prefer something like this. Let's rotate that. Click there. Then we'll pop something similar on this side. Actually, I'm going to start, just to illustrate it, in fact, it's a good time to do it. There we go. There's just straight up cobble. We're only halfway through the day, so we've got plenty of time to get this place properly fortified, but we are a little bit shy on some resources. Trying to make best use of the resources that I have available to me to make the most fortified location. We are almost certainly going to just have to deal with the zombie vultures, sadly. I can comfortably make that jump myself. As is.
Zombie vultures, you just have to hit them really hard with a big club.
On face. I'll do. This is not a well-designed base by any stretch of the imagination, simply because of the fact that it is so exposed. And it's not made of particularly high durability materials. Nevertheless, it is our base, and it'll just have to do. Now, I'm not sure how ladders work anymore in terms of the zombies. Really not sure on that one, actually. Hey, Element Zero. And hello, Mangled Pork. Thank you very much for the raid, Bentham. Diolch yn fawr iawn, mate. Hiya, Manu.
Hey, Bentham.
I saw you were playing a little bit of 7 days earlier as well. Were you playing with us? Yeah, I noticed both of you were streaming it. Sugar Butts is a good one to use with the trader. You're absolutely right. I forgot to check before, basically.
Sworn I had a dog. I don't see one though. I'm really over encumbered to the last thing I need is a wolf.
Going thick-headed would then allow me to get tinkering, which would then allow me to do robotics, and frustrating that I don't have that. But for tonight, I guess it's better to look at things like pain tolerance. I can't grab that. Healing factor I've already got. Rule cardio would probably be worth it. Yeah, I'm gonna grab cardio. I'm gonna go for survival skills for now. You have my throwing stone. Ah, marvelous. I'm sure you will use it well. Fuzzy server had the 119 day 119 Horde night. It was an experience. Well, fantastic. I hope you really enjoyed it. I imagine you've got a crazy Horde base by this point. Yeah. Whoop. Now, I'm hopeful that that is going to be enough to stop the zombies in their tracks and force them to have to readjust. Additionally, and I am considering this one, I could add a little bit of something to force them to crawl, but I think maybe that's something that we'll do next time. Because they can navigate a 1.5 tile area now. I could put that 1.5 tile area over here, thus forcing them to have to climb up, jump up and then kind of crouch down in order to shimmy through. Because the idea of the Horde Knight, the best defense that we are capable of creating, is to simply slow them down. Slow them down and make their heads more predictable to target. Time for spikes.
So I found a few eggs while I was going about finding your honey, which is great.
Very nice.
I just popped back to the Horde base and popped the honey in the chest because I was really over encumbered.
Yeah, no problems. I'll head back and grab it now. I have made a circle of over 100 chairs around a campfire on the peak of a mountain. It's an art installation. I'm sure it is wonderful, Panther. No doubt, zombies in far future will be found there, stood worshipping this strange symbol of the gods. Where did you put the honey?
Food chest.
Did I miss it? I did. Okay, gonna use that now. That's gonna dial my infection back down to about 10%, which means that there's every possibility that I'm going to be able to use my antibiotics on something more fitting, frankly. What are my stats like right now? Water and food are good. Right. Just been burning forever. I'm going to take half of this food with me. Pink. Pop that there. Right. Okay, Shelab, do you feel comfortable getting up onto this structure? As is?
No idea. Let me come and have a look. I'll come back. I'm just trying to find you more honey if I can.
I mean, yeah, that'd be great. Though at this point, I would say it's probably more useful if we focus on trying to defend the base. Yeah,
that's fine.
I am going to. Can I pick that up again? No, I can't. I'm not going to place the traps right in front of the drop, just in case we fall there. But we'll see how this goes.
Oh, this is looking cool.
Oh, thank you very much for reminding me about the bloody bars. I keep forgetting about those. Food and water bars. That are, of course, visible at all times. Really, Shelab?
Oh, no. Oops.
It's okay. I was literally saying I wasn't putting it right there. So that this is why. Chat. I'm going to need to go and grab some more wood in a moment then. To repair them.
I've got some wood.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you. It's honestly such an easy mistake to make, to be fair. Oh, that's perfect. Are you okay after that?
Yeah, I went down. I was down to like 25 health, so I was like, oh no,
wow.
oh no.
You really got hit hard then. So these spikes are doing their job.
They do a lot of damage, actually.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Because that's going to be probably one of the biggest defenses. We need more rocks and we need more clay. Would you be able to gather some more of that? Do you think?
Where do I get clay from? Is that just
digging
up
the dirt? Yeah. I can drop a level 2 shovel and a pickaxe for you.
I think I might have one. Oh, I've got a level 1 shovel, iron.
Oh, that's better then, because this is just a stone shovel. But I've got an iron pickaxe if you'd like.
I have one of those at level 1.
Yeah, same here then. Exactly the same. Very well.
Okay, so rocks and clay. That's
yes,
great.
please. LadyShelab, best helper.
Just gonna do a pit like on the other side of the road.
Yeah, that's what I did as well.
Oh, is there an existing pit somewhere?
It's not really much of one.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just start a new one.
Very small, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much. The thing with these spikes is they're not going to survive for very long, so I'm not overly concerned about them. They're just there as a bit of a deterrent for things getting a bit nasty.
Is it just as much clay as possible, or is there a particular amount you want or anything?
Equal amounts clay and stone, if possible.
Okay.
Right. Let's also make some frames. Frames will be used to just block off some of the damage. Should I make... We've got enough animal fat. I'm going to go and grab some torches and stick them up on the 3rd level around the building just to give us some sight. LadyShelab was really into method acting as a zombie there to test the spike. Yes, indeed. Verily.
Totally. Yeah, that was absolutely what I was doing. Do you imagine if my first death was just because I didn't know the layout of the Horde base properly and I just went on a spike? I would cry. I'm so glad I managed to get off that spike in time.
Oh my. I'd feel awful.
They're like, come here, check this base out. And I'm like, ow, 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 I'm dead. And you're like, oh.
Yep. That back off. Oh, I'll drop off all of the berries and the corn that I got. Remember to plant those rather than use them up. We also don't need that candle. We can leave that there. At this point, I'm thinking I don't even actually need the forged iron. Do we have polluted water? Did you bring back any polluted water?
I think I already turned it into fresh water. Do you need polluted water?
It's just to make some more glue for repair kits, but that's fine. We can do that another time.
Oh, I made a few repair kits anyway, and isn't there some glue there anyway? I did put some glue back, I thought.
Oh yeah, we got 6. Yeah, we got 6 duct tape, so I can make another 6 repair kits. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't use everything that I
Working on
I
that.
got 5 repair kits on me as well. So
Perfect. I don't need these. Drop them off.
unspeakably, hey, you can't dye your own spikes. That's Fuzzy's shtick. Does Fuzzy do that a lot?
I don't know if you saw my answer to your question as I popped away for a second, but I was meaning the J.J. Abrams ones, the ones with Kirk first starting out. Oh, those ones. They were an okay romp.
Yeah, I watched them. They were fun.
I mean, it was a very different style of movie. It was made for a very different audience. If I were to describe it, I would say that those were made more to grab the attention of new audiences that hadn't really grown up with the original Star Treks. So didn't care about the lore, didn't already have a wealth of stories behind their attachment to the franchise. Because let's be perfectly honest, the franchise was like, it had a fan base, but it was so dense at that point that new fans were not something that was happening as frequently. So it was quite probably one of the only ways they could keep the thing going. I think I'm going to double
like
layer
the original
spikes out
series.
here.
See, I'm one of these people that likes Discovery as well.
Nothing wrong with that.
As a hot take. Yeah, no, I think a lot of people don't, but I just think it's entertaining and cool.
Well, that's the thing. Is
But
if you
I
look
take
at
things
it
at face
from
value a lot.
yeah, if you look at it just purely from the perspective of I want to be entertained with a low science space drama show, and that's the thing, is that you gotta try and evaluate the show as what it was trying to be. I don't think the J. Abrams shows were trying to be the same thing as a lot of the previous ones to which they're being compared were trying to be. And I think that's a really important difference. They weren't trying to be the same sort of media.
Yeah. Thank you for the bits, Hohenheim the Black. Another tongue twister name.
I've got some pipes on me, old Mr. Frodo. Right there, 4 of them. Though, interestingly, I don't have any pipe guns. I do have them with me to repair my pipe baton.
I'm Tara Alive. The Klingons in they get hair in the end. They start to look a little bit more like a little bit more civilized.
Thank you very much, Fire by Trial. That's super kind of you. Diolch yn fawr iawn for the 5 months. It's a really interesting one because I know that the Klingons in particular were a big deal for a lot of people. But you got to remember that, you know, between original and TNG, the Klingons went through an enormous change. Klingons initially just looked like humans with big fuzzy brows. And I don't even mean their brow. Like, their brow was completely normal. They just had huge, fuzzy eyebrows, and they looked a little bit more,
I feel
Wolfman-like.
like they kind of wanted to make it into a Star Trek tradition to have them changing up all the time.
Well, I don't know. In some ways, I think maybe they were trying to aim to unify that kind of... well, I mean, the whole episodes where they did go back in time in Deep Space Nine, talking about it. Kind of address it later. Worf was there, and everyone else. Oh, you know, the second person who's there, or the second group that want, you know, Klingon coffee, and like, oh yeah, the Klingons over there, and Miles is like, the what? And like looked to Worf, and Worf is like, we don't talk about it. It's like, oh, I love the fact that they acknowledged that enormous weirdness in that. It was glorious. But how do you acknowledge it without actually properly explaining it? And I kind of feel like Discovery was perhaps aiming to do that. It was like, yeah, you know what?
Someone said the Enterprise. Oh, I think I found your little hole you dug. Someone said the Enterprise, I think, had some explanations.
Oh, did
I
they?
never got
Explain
far
to
enough
the
into
Enterprise?
Enterprise to get to that.
I will confess, I have watched zero of Enterprise.
Did try a couple of episodes worth.
I would like to go back and actually have a proper look at Enterprise at some point. I just, didn't. For various reasons, it just wasn't the right time. And perhaps
it's all on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, perhaps I'm part of the reasons why everyone's like, the Enterprise destroyed the franchise. No, the people who didn't want to watch it kind of did. Let's not put it on them, but at the same time, it's like, well,
yeah, but if it was that good, you'd have wanted to watch
entertainment that I want to watch. I'm not wasting my time. It's like, yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. But let's be perfectly honest here. They were still writing stuff. You just didn't like what they were writing.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to sit and watch Doctor Who if you don't like
absolutely
the season of Doctor Who that's on at the moment.
Yeah, but if as a consequence of me not watching it, Doctor Who stopped airing entirely, I wouldn't then sit back and say, they ruined Doctor Who. It's like, well, I mean, they were still trying to do it, and instead of trying to help them change, I just flat out like, nah, saw this, and wrote angry things on the internet until all my friends also stopped watching. It's like, where did you think that was going to go?
Yeah.
You cancelled it in all but name.
Right, do you want me to just chuck you half the cobble half the stone and clay so you can make some cobble and then me make the other half, or?
Yeah, that'll probably be good. The best.
Where are you?
Around now, Bilal, would be the time to start creating a 10-minute prediction. I mean, understand, it is no one's responsibility to consume content they don't want. But if they also want that content to continue being made, they have got to feed into the system somehow.
Cobblestone rocks, right?
Yes, please. Many of. Yeah, survive Horde Night or not. I mean, if we die, we die. And that will be considered a death. We didn't survive. Survival in this setting is get through the entirety of Horde Night without dying. Oh, I need more trees. Sod. Okay. Off I go to chop the trees. My husband is 100% a Whovian, but myself, I'm like, it's pretty good, but meh, I miss my black leather coat doctor with his wicked smile. I'll be honest, for me, Capaldi is probably my favorite doctor in regards to the character of the doctor. Tennant is probably my favorite doctor in terms of the overall aesthetic and feel. And I mean, my
I am a Matt Smith fan.
My favorite doctor of all time. It would definitely be. I think there's definitely something to be said about Christopher Eccleston. Was a good doctor. I liked, again, Christopher Eccleston because of the kind of the feel of the character that he was playing. But my favorite of all time is always going to be Tom Baker. Like, I old Who, best Who for the utter campiness of it, but also kind of the grimness of it. It was campy, but the character was also portrayed as, this alien with very human flaws. It wasn't all lives are precious and I will do whatever I can. It's like, no, I straight up hate some of the aliens and I want to wipe them out. And that was an interesting thing for the character because it ran juxtaposed to what the message he was trying to say, and it made the character really flawed. I don't know, there was something truly attractive about a character who was almost self-aware of his own bigotry, and every now and then it was revealed to him in a way that couldn't be avoided, and it kind of messed with him. Like, I loved the episodes where Capaldi was literally told by a Dalek that he would have made a good Dalek, and it crushed Capaldi's soul. It was so good to see. It gave the Doctor some real bite. You know, yes. Yeah, no, exactly, Drill Truth. No, Doctor, you are a good Dalek. It was so good. Because you could feel it kind of break the Doctor in a way. And that's what made the character really engaging for me. And there were lots of instances like that back in the original, the kind of the OG run. But there was an awful lot of camp and an awful lot of other things that were problematic.
Upgrade to Cobble?
Yes.
Everything?
Mm-hmm.
I nearly got caught on that spike wall again. Nightmare.
On that note, I do need to be making this one. But yeah, I just adored it being more than just some sort of caricature of, yeah, no, he's ultra good and everything he does is good. I like the Doctor to be flawed. And I love the idea that, yeah, no, you know, he's a thief. He did some really wild stuff when he was young. And he's kind of trying to make up for it. I actually really enjoyed the whole arc where you know, the whole destruction of Gallifrey. And there were moments with all the Doctors that had it. Like Matt Smith. There was one point, I forget who it was, you know, I've killed hundreds of Time Lords, and Matt Smith's response was, I killed all of them. And that rawness in that was just amazing, because it kind of lent to the idea of a tortured soul. He had done some things that he would never be able to outrun. And in a way, that's all he was doing. He was trying to outrun the bad things he'd done. Trying to seek redemption.
I make more spikes?
No, at this point, any materials we have should... Actually, I'll pop some spikes around here, I guess. This is now a little bit more dangerous to be around here. Okay. Those spikes are probably going to be destroyed by the zombies. It's fine. Okay. Right. I need... Do you have any extra wood? Any at all?
Yes.
You do. How much?
110.
Great. Drop it all.
But it drop it down the hole, though. Ah.
Yep.
There you go. Oh, I ended up dropping it right in front of me.
I'm gonna try to make this somewhat more protective against vultures. Could you step just wait? Thank you. As I fear they are likely to be one of the most deadly things for us to face. Mm-hmm. Stop that now. But there's a lot of things that are going to mess us up here. This is not a well-defended structure. This is so temporary it hurts. But it's better than not having anything at all.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Got half an hour of game time, which is basically
Is it something
nothing.
that you think can be adapted, or is it something that needs to be pulled down at the end? Or?
I definitely feel this temporary structure over our heads needs to be pulled down at the end.
Oh yeah, but the rest of it.
I think we can upgrade into it. Yeah, upgrade it into something better over time.
Be good to see how the zombies act and stuff as well.
Yeah. In a big way. Now, you've got all of your weapons?
Yep, I'm going to start with a bow, and then pistol if they get closer.
Gobbling down steroids. Going to use my recog too. Just when it starts, going to pop T. Stamina
Loading all the
regen. Good. Yeah, I
guns.
can pop that down there. This as well. All right. Sort my inventory. Why can I not see my overburden thing? Oh, it's because I'm on steroids. Yes, of course. I no longer care about such things. Overburdened? What is this nonsense?
Hug smash, hug bash. Rah.
I'll carry all of the things forever. Alright. Repair your stuff as best you can. Make sure your guns are loaded.
Yep.
Turning on my light. Donk. Alright then, chat.
Yeah. Nice.
Here we go.